wrestling buddies want to be your buddy.
Hey, buddy. Buddy! Hey, buddy.
You got me mad now. You got me
Hey, buddy.
mad now. I'm okay.
Welcome, everybody, to the Wrestling Compadres Slamcast right here on AfterBuzz TV. If you're listening, you're used to listening, but guess what? This is the very first video show!
Hey, now.
Oh, what? Yeah. Pump it up, pump it up, pump it up! Just this for an hour. That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
Just on a loop.
Totally
Yeah, I'm
worth
over
it.
that now.
Worth it.
You can never be over that song.
Yeah, that song. Come on.
If you were in a car with him for as long as I was and he played it as many times as he did, you might be.
I may have listened to it 9 times.
I heard you were sleeping for most of that. Anyway.
We drove
Last night.
We drove back from WrestleMania. You actually talked to me in your sleep. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, boy.
I was driving. I think it was like, I don't know, 1 in the morning, and like he's, Chuck's in full recline mode, and at one point all I hear is, "What's up, bro?" And so I try to keep the conversation going. I go, "Oh man, there's a cow on the road." You go, "Uh-huh," and you just went back to sleep.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, everyone. If you're watching us for the first time, well, you're definitely watching us for the first time. But if you're at Wrestling Buds, B-U-D-S, Facebook.com/Wrestling Buds, we have been a show now for 65 or 66 episodes. We do it every single week. We talk everything in the world of wrestling. We were at WrestleMania. Find me on Twitter at JQuasto. But now it is time to intro the 2 other gentlemen in the studio. The man to my left, he is from Houston, Texas. He is the pride of that city. He is a TCU Horned Frog. He is Chuck Rice.
He's a man.
What up, dude?
Oh, man, just trying to catch up on some sleep today before coming in here. What a weekend.
I'm on 3 hours. I'm
Oh, my
I'm all
God.
jacked up on Mountain Dew.
What a weekend, man.
Yeah, it
The
was.
stories, the things that happened, incredible.
Which you can't necessarily. You saw more than we did, but you can't talk about it, I guess. So,
Well, I can tell you some things that I saw and what happened. Like, coolest experience for me this weekend was probably after WrestleMania. I went with Booker, and Charmel was one of their guests this weekend. So thank you, Booker and Charmel, as always. But we rode the buses to and from the stadium, and on the way back, Steamboat.
damn.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
And I just got.
He brought his kid to the ring.
Is it like a villain in the Turtles?
Yes. He was with Bebop and Rocksteady.
Look at
He
you
was the
knowing
third
a
guy.
reference.
I know.
There's always-
Myself with that round of applause.
I'll go with the
I
crowd.
actually knew. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, man, just sitting there getting to pick his brain a little bit. Like,
I
he
can
told me some
imagine.
stories about matches he had with Flair that were never on TV. Like,
Well, back in the days, I mean, with the territories and whatnot, you would wrestle a guy for like 80 nights in a row.
right. And
So-
he told me some just really cool stories, but I'm not going to tell them to you all right now.
No.
Because while sitting there talking with him, he told me he wants to come on our show at some point.
You got to be kidding me.
So at some point in the near future, Mr. Steamboat will be on the
We
show.
might get the dragon on this show.
We just might.
Oh my god!
I'm into it.
Yeah,
So-
I think we can handle it.
Let's make it happen.
The other man in studio, he is always #Vests for Business. He's wearing his brand new WrestleMania t-shirt. He is the host of Dishing on Movies on the YouTube. Find him on Twitter at @TheWalkingDale. He's Dale Rutledge.
I got a puppy.
I got a puppy.
Bad news.
How do you know this was a new shirt?
Because I saw it in your gift bag. And that's just where...
Did you see the logo for next year is just a star right here where the play button is for this year? They really aren't numbering them anymore.
I mean, I get it.
Hey, you know what? I'm okay with the star in Dallas.
Yes,
Yes,
it
we
makes
know.
perfect
Yeah.
sense. 100,000 people. Apparently they have a big TV screen.
Oh yeah. Didn't they hit that thing with a football once?
I don't know how they're going to do it in there with
try.
that screen because it's like you know, I've been there for a football game. I've been there for a concert.
Right.
And you can't focus on what's happening on the field because the screen's so huge.
Really?
You also have a little ADD, so.
No, dude. I'm telling you, you look around the stadium and everyone's just sitting up looking like this.
Well, it's kind of like at a WWE event, though, because Levi Stadium, we had 77,000 strong, and depending on where you were, it was you caught yourself looking up at the Jumbotron.
I couldn't actually see the screen from where I was sitting.
Is that because you were on the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were like 6 rows behind the ring. That's
sorry about that. Yeah. Sorry about that.
I wish you died in the womb.
The ring was obstructing his view of the screen, you know?
Exactly.
But what a weekend it was, and we hope you enjoyed all our videos and our pictures that we put on social media for all those of you who couldn't be there, but we were there in spirit, right there with you. So, likes, I want to be at 2,000 by the end of this damn week, so make it happen. Just spread that page around. We needs it.
Spread that page. Why are you Gollum with it?
I don't know.
We need this. Precious.
Spread it around like, so what's that chocolate spread? Nutella. Nutella our Facebook page everywhere.
Wow.
I'm so glad we're doing videos so people can see people can see our stupidity right up close.
I love how he roped us into that.
Yeah, I have nothing to do with his Nutella, as you call it.
You've never had Nutella?
Yes, of course.
Oh, dear. He hosts a cooking show, dude.
Well, he was pretending not to know Nutella. Don't sell me on Nutella, though.
You know what I do know now?
What?
Is Paige. In person, she was really, really sweet since we're sharing stories.
She's the best, right?
She's like the cutest thing ever. I wanted to be my new best friend.
I think she kind of is.
She might be. We had a good time.
Yeah.
She was very friendly. She even retweeted a photo that we took together.
Yeah.
I think that makes us best friends.
Does that make you besties now?
I don't know. We'll have to confer on that.
In modern day society, I think a retweet means besties.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll go with it. Thanks, Paige.
Yeah.
We also got to give a shout out to the whole weekend.
If it was a Dallas Cowboys t-shirt.
No.
Surprisingly, no.
No, it is funny. It was a Richard Nixon campaign shirt that just had Richard Nixon's face, and it was hilarious.
Retro. Oh, he was a former president, and then he got in trouble.
I just don't know why it's funny, though.
I don't know. But Watergate was
because
hilarious.
He used to be the president?
He was, and then he got in trouble and did this.
Yeah.
I am not a crook.
I saw the Watergate building just the other day. It's A, not really directly in D.C., and B, very small.
And I hear it's not even wet.
Oh, dear Lord.
Sorry, that was my fault, guys. That one's on me. Sometimes things are on me. That was all my bad.
Boy, let's talk about wrestling.
Yeah, I don't have any good stories. I mean, we got to talk to all members of New Day. Love them all.
Didn't you meet Rusev or no?
I did not meet. He scares me.
Oh.
But it was great hanging out with Xavier, Kofi, Ennie, and we really hope a new direction happens for the New Day sometime soon. Depending on how you read Big E's tweet, it makes you wonder.
Yeah, that New Day sucks chant was going pretty strong at Raw.
Wow.
How were they received at the at WrestleMania? I wasn't out there quite yet for when they came out. Or did they even come out?
It was early. That match was fantastic, the Fatal 4-Way. It was, the stadium was still filling at the time.
Yeah.
But last night, wow, that crowd was crazier than last year's Raw crowd.
Okay, so they were ridiculously wrong, and yet at the same time ridiculously funny.
Yeah.
Okay, Nikki and Brie were.
Let's not even mention what.
I mean, that's like misogynistic.
Very
really.
misogynistic. We don't agree with that. We don't agree with it.
Really the best chant.
What we did have a great time doing was our live podcast.
Oh, yeah. We opened up the show for the live podcast.
Yeah, how fun was
a lot
that?
of good folks showed up to that thing. It was a lot of fun.
We did. We actually got a cool picture. We took like a big selfie, and we got a really nice turnout at Cafe for Scotty. The best part is the venue did nothing to promote it like they said they would.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
And Johnny ruined some couple's date.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see they were next door? You called them out. They left and went literally
did
to the
they?
place next door.
They did.
Well, I did say, I said, let's be honest, if you're on a date, you could afford something better, buddy.
Yeah,
So get to
you
stepping.
showed him up, so he took her to the hot spot right next door.
Hit the bricks, Roy.
He will probably not be liking our Facebook page, okay?
That's fine.
But do we have that picture, I believe, of the live podcast? Yeah, we got that. That was a really fun thing. Let's get into WrestleMania, because we have let's go to Booker T first.
Yeah.
Well, before we do that, can we just talk about the NXT show that happened at WrestleMania
Go
weekend?
for it. Go for it.
Sure.
One of the coolest experiences for a live wrestling show I've been to.
I've heard it was 5,100 people.
Yeah.
It was really special, and it was really cool too because backstage that normally wouldn't be at an NXT show. Vince was there, Stephanie was there, Shawn Michaels was there, X-Pac was there. All these people.
Thank God X-Pac found time in his schedule.
I like how you threw X-Pac.
Hey, listen,
Six was there.
I like X-Pac. I think he's a phenomenal wrestler.
we all do.
and-
It's just funny you put him in that group of like people right there.
Well, but
welcome.
just seeing the smile on Vince's face while he was watching this, it was like you could see the smile on his mouth and the dollar signs in his eyes.
Yeah, maybe he'll learn a little something on how to book a show by watching NXT. I don't like moving my lips, damn it.
My face, damn it.
We have a huge show. We have Booker T, we have Alex Riley, and Damien Mizdow. Damien Mizdow.
Mizdow. For now.
For now.
I don't think he's Mizdow anymore.
He was at Raw.
He was last night.
That's what the screen said.
Yeah, on Monday Night Raw. We'll see what happens. So who to go to first? A-Ry?
Let's go to A-Ry.
Yeah, A-Ry is one of our new best friends in the show. He's been on a bunch, and God, he's just great to talk to. He's very motivating. So let's just talk. Let's call A-Ry.
And he's a Cowboys fan.
All right. All right, coming off of WrestleMania weekend, we have to have a huge show, so we are excited to have him back. He is one of our best friends on the show.
Hot damn.
Oh, it feels good that I don't have to call him the analyst anymore. Why is that? Because he is now an active WWE superstar once again. You can find him on Twitter at Alex Riley.
Does it feel good? It feels great, guys.
Yeah.
No more analysts back inside the ring. And I got to say, I owe a lot of this to the Wrestling Compadres. Since day one, you were kind of in Booker's corner since day one. But mine, I think a couple months after our relationship started, you started backing Alex Riley and supporting him 100%. And I sincerely appreciate everything that you guys have done, because I was listening to a couple of things that was said on this show. You certainly watched the pre-show pose down that you guys went 1,000 miles an hour to help promote. And, you know, it's funny how these things kind of work out sometimes. So again, my gratitude towards you, and thank you again so much.
Well, we couldn't be more happy to have you back in the ring, to be honest. It's been great to have you on NXT, and we should talk about, firstly, your WrestleMania performance, right? Just a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was incredible. I was hoping all week that I would be able to slide into that. And, you know, honestly, when there's 30 positions announced on a card, you know, I would almost have been a tiny bit insulted if I didn't get a chance to go in, and I certainly didn't want to feel that way. So I'm glad there was room for me. I found out the day of. I was very excited. I had flown my girlfriend out there and my family, my mother and father there for the first time ever. So
wow.
It was cool to get out there. Yeah, it was cool to just make the walk, you know, walk the ramp and be out there. And I was third eliminated, so it was, you know, it wasn't the best showing in the Battle Royal, but just to be out there was fantastic. And I showed a little bit of rage, had a moment of rage.
Yeah, you did.
Against has to follow me everywhere I go in my career for whatever reason, but
He's not making
there
any
was some
friends these
rage,
days.
and we were out, as Booker would say. We were out right after that. So, but it was a great experience.
Now, on the positive note, yeah, you were third eliminated, but now we just look to the future. You say, okay, WrestleMania 31, I was there, I had a cool moment, now it's time to step it up. WrestleMania 32, let's get a bigger spot. So you have 362 some odd days to get yourself there.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, the start is NXT. I was given a great opportunity down at NXT. Kevin Owens was really the guy that kind of gave it to me by doing what he did. I think it was really a home run, man. I mean, all those pieces came together very well. It got a good reaction from the WWE universe. Certainly the people that were there at Full Sail enjoyed it that night. So I think you're right. I think, you know, the sky's the limit at this point for what's going to happen next year. I have a whole year to get. I can't wait. Huge Cowboy fan, so
hell yeah,
you know, to be out there in Texas and to be a part of another WrestleMania, a bigger part of another WrestleMania, will be fantastic. And I you know, I hope it's in my future.
It's funny you say that, because Chuck is a massive Cowboys fan, and we hear about it just about every week.
Yeah, so you can both enjoy that stadium.
Yeah, America's team. Yeah.
America. So yeah, we're talking about
Chuck. You didn't tell them anything that happened at the WrestleMania after party, right? I hope.
They know nothing, sir. Nothing.
All right, we saved those stories for off the air.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's a good thing Dale and I weren't important enough to get to that party.
So that, I mean, we're talking WrestleMania 32, but let's talk more immediate. I mean, do you know what the plan is moving forward? Are you going to stay on the NXT roster, or are you doing more things on, you know, Raw after your WrestleMania debut, or what are we thinking?
You know, I don't know. I obviously in I've learned this over the years of being with the WWE, is that you really do find out what you're doing the day of. Sometimes you don't think you're being thought about or you're forgotten about, and then you show up one day and you got a match on Monday Night Raw and you're winning the U.S. title. So that's just kind of how it. And the internet, they really do just keep that room very tight where they make all those decisions and they just don't let information out. But I expect big things. I was really happy with the Kevin Owens stuff. I'd like to get my hands on him again. It was fun being out there. I felt like I just, I really hadn't lost a step. If not, had gotten better just by being an analyst and watching every single moment in detail of WWE programming over the last 2 years and having to, talk about it and have an opinion about it and, watch what worked and what didn't work. So I really do think I'm having some of the best matches of my career at this point. I'd like to do them on the grand stage. So yeah, I'm waiting for Raw or SmackDown to happen. And NXT is getting so big, guys, these days that. It's not even a developmental territory anymore. I mean, on Monday Night Raw a couple nights ago, they were, you hear NXT chants in the middle of Monday Night Raw with top name guys. I think Randy was in there at the time, Roman was in there at the time, and their opportunity I get on NXT as well. I'm just going to run with it because it's a massive platform, and it's only getting bigger every day.
Now, Alex, you have been talking about a minute ago social media and how important it is these days, and you're a free man now, so I want to know, what's the new hashtag going to be?
Well, I'm not totally free now, and they could throw me back in that cage whenever they want. But I was free for a night. I busted open, and certainly free at WrestleMania 31, but free to me is being on Monday Night Raw every week, being on Friday Night SmackDown, being the United States champion, being the WWE champion. So I guess I'm going to continue to use that until I become WWE champion.
There you go.
There it is.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, or only the beginning, because I think we've been out of the cage for about a month, and I'd like to stay out this time for a long time.
Well, I have a question. Do you mind if we pitch you a new hashtag?
Not at all. I'd actually, no matter what it is, because with you guys, I'd probably just
about hashtag Riley Rage.
I love it.
Okay, well,
I certainly developed a lot of it. I feel over the last 2 years. I hope people saw that when I came out through the curtain and had a couple matches against Kevin Owens. So, I think it works.
I mean, I would say it doesn't seem like you've missed a step, and you look in great shape. I mean, everything. It's almost you didn't take a 2-year break basically from being inside the active roster. It's amazing to see that still living inside of you, and the passion is very, very obvious from that first match that you had, less than a month ago, where you got really emotional in the ring. It's just been great to see this ride happen for you again, and we couldn't be more elated.
I mean, Alex, who are some people in NXT that you would love to face now?
Oh man, it's funny. You've seen a lot of the guys that were established down there go up and do so well on Raw over the last 6 months, I guess. And Ascension, I know Finn Balor's doing live events. Sammy, they're now bouncing him back and forth. Neville had a great debut last night, and then after the Lucha Dragons last night, I would assume. Wow. I don't know. I mean, Tyler's fantastic. Tyler Breeze he does a great job with his character. There's a lot of material there. He's great in the ring. I think we could play off each other very well, considering that I'm different now. I've come back as a different Riley, and he's doing the pretty boy thing. So he would be ideal for me. I think we could have some great matches, and certainly a lot of promo material there too. He's going to be another one that's going to be just off the chart successful when he finally gets his opportunity up on the big stage.
And also another guy I think we should mention, he was your first victim when you got back to the ring. You talk about being able to maximize your TV time. Like we talk about, that's how Sandow did when he was doing all his impressions. CJ Parker just gets it, doesn't he? Like he really knows how to make his TV time count, and he did the same thing with you.
Yeah, without a doubt. As C.J. Parker, from the moment I met C.J. Parker, I had a lot of respect for him. He's he's a good dude. He's very dedicated to the business. He's extremely dedicated. He knows that character inside and out. I've seen him a couple nights, at the Performance Center when we're doing character development. He's gone for 6-8 minutes on the God knows what, the recycling and SeaWorld and all this nonsense. So yeah, and he's fantastic. Yeah, he's very, very good. Certainly great at the backstage stuff when it comes to promos, and I was so happy when I found out that I was going to face him, right from the start, because he is very good and a great bad guy, a great heel, and really knows. We did it, like you said, we did a pre-tape prior to the match that was supposed to be about me, getting my opportunity and telling William Regal that I quit, and to battle back and forth with CJ is tough, because he does a great job of using his face, and he's not speaking, and he's always trying to steal the spotlight. So another guy that would be absolutely fantastic to work with.
I could only imagine in the promo class when he gets up, you're like, oh, CJ's going to cut his Blackfish promo again. Here we go.
Yeah. I mean, some of the references he's making, and he believes it. And that's the most important thing, and believe in it 100%, and he does. So.
Nice. So take us through a day now, because obviously in the Performance Center, I imagine the last 2 weeks, everything ready to go as far as announcing. Now, is it a kind of a weird transition that you're bringing all your gear back to the Performance Center, and now you really don't? The future's kind of wide open.
Well, it's funny, and I told this story a couple times. You said I came out of the curtain and I was in decent shape, and I really felt against Kevin Owens and CJ that the matches went really well, because I never, and this is 100% the truth, and I haven't changed the story because I've gotten the opportunity, or it's just the way it played. I never in my mind was not a pro wrestler,
right?
Ever. And that's where a lot of the pain came from. Was it's not like I was. Certainly grateful for the opportunity, and I really did enjoy once the camera was on talking WWE, because I do love sports. I love competition. I love the WWE, and it's easy for me to do because I thoroughly I have investment in the people that I came up with, and the wrestlers that I like. I have opinions. So. But it wasn't like I wasn't a part of the company anymore. I was there watching everybody and having to talk about it. So it did create a lot of pain for me, day after day, week after week, month after month, showing up as a pro wrestler, as a wrestling talent, and being told, you're sitting here and asking and asking and asking, well, can I do this? Well, can I do that? And just being told no, we don't have room for you right now, and well, when will you? Well, we don't know. Maybe next week, maybe next month. I'm told one weekend I'm going to fly out, then I don't. I'm getting all excited. Friday morning I get a call, and now I'm not flying out.
Yeah.
To live events. So that can take its toll on you. But I never stopped. I am very proud of myself in that regard, and that's why I kind of got emotional after the CJ Parker match, because it is, to me personally, and a lot of people would never understand this, but it's the greatest accomplishment of my life. That match with CJ Parker, to me, no matter what I do, if I become WWE champion or not one day, that will always be the most important match in my career, and the one that I hold most dear. And it's a 3-minute match that stopped. Mm-hmm. I would show up at the Performance Center after being told that there was no room for me on NXT live event. And now you're looking at the Alex Riley that was part of the Florida live event, and being told that there's no room for him. And I had to go back to my home and A, wonder why, because there is no answer. B, find a way to continue to show up and continue to get in the ring and continue to get beat up And there were times I was wondering why I was doing it, and people were asking me why. People in very high-powered positions were asking me, well, why are you doing this? You're crazy. What are you doing? Why are you beating yourself up? You're a commentator. Just enjoy. And this is the thing that used to frustrate me more than anything else, is just enjoy having a job.
Right.
And I said, well, what, you know, pardon my language, what the fuck is that? What is enjoy having a job? My goal here was, is that people's goal, is to have a job here? Or, like, okay, so my job is to wake up every day, no matter what I'm doing, and try to become WWE champion. That's my job.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I think it should be everybody else's job, and that doesn't have a job, and be thankful you have a job. I never understood that, and I heard that a couple times, and it was very, very frustrating and very confusing. So I'm very grateful that I got the opportunity, really, to get back out there, and you know, I'm glad it went well, and I don't know if it wasn't going to go well, because I really do, like you said, I was very, very prepared for it, and I wanted it very badly.
And what's great about your story and everything you just said is, it doesn't matter what profession anyone's in, they could take a lesson in that. It's you have to not give up. You have to keep trudging ahead. You have to keep getting better every single day. And the best part about you is your new journey, it is just beginning, brother. And we are honored to be a part of it. And you know, we're going to keep doing everything we can to get this Riley Rage moving forward.
Yeah, thanks, man. And you're right. It's you know, the one thing I learned from this, and you know, maybe it took all this to learn. It's like don't. If anybody ever tells you what you are, or you can't, you know, you're not doing this, or this is what you're going to be, you just don't ever get who you are and what you think and what you can do. You know, because I was told so many times who I was, and I just continued to reject it and say, you know, well, I'm gonna decide that. just
Right. Amen.
Get back out there, and I'll make that decision. So it's a hell of a lesson, and something that I'm very proud of.
Amen to that, indeed. And well, we really appreciate your time. I mean, this is a huge show for us post WrestleMania, so no one better than to have you on, considering your journey's been incredible, and we can't wait to see more. And obviously, we'll have you on the show anytime you want. So hit us up, man.
Yeah, yeah. And again, on a very real note, thank you guys so much, because you were a major part of this, and we're always in my corner, and you know, I greatly appreciate it. So
of course,
thank you.
We're honored.
You.
All right, well, we'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of the week, man.
All right, guys. Thank you. Take care.
You got it.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Man, talking to A-Rye, it just makes me want to, like, lift weights. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah. I mean, he's just such a cool dude anyways.
He's the
and
best.
His attitude really is the only way I think you can survive in the wrestling world, or in life in general.
I was going to say, everything he says, you can relate it to any profession. We have so many listeners hustling our asses off. It doesn't matter if you're in Des Moines or if you're in Jersey, whatever you do, you want to be the best at what you do. And you got to work every day towards it.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing you can say about him is, you know, they always say a good wrestler is someone who's kind of an extension of them real selves.
Yeah.
And Alex Riley epitomizes that to me. You know, he takes that passion that he has in life and he shows it in the ring. And I think it translates well with the fans.
And it really does. And people are really they're so excited to see him back. I know, it's an honor to hear him say that our show helped that.
Yeah.
Which that's very humbling.
You know, getting to meet him in person this weekend, like when he realized who I was and, you know, this was our show,
Yeah.
he was so appreciative.
That's
like,
crazy
he just,
to me. Yeah.
I was taken aback by it, because it was in front of a bunch of people, and he was just like, thank you, you know, like, you guys helped get me to where I am right now. And I'm like, wow, it was very humbling.
What a genuine guy. I love that. And the fact, I mean, and the dude's a world-class athlete. He was a Division I football player, a blue-chip NXT, competitor, and now finally he's allowed to show what he can do. And I think the future's looking real bright regardless.
Yeah, I hope they let him run with Max.
Yeah. He won't drop that ball. Speaking of, you know who's never dropped the ball? Booker T.
Booker T.
Why don't we just jump right into Booker T, and then we'll talk WrestleMania, then we'll get into Damien Mizdow. So let's call Booker. All right, it is that time once again. This is the first show after WrestleMania, so you know we have to talk to WWE Hall of Famer. Find him on Twitter at BookerT5X. He's the godfather of reality of wrestling, the flagship of Texas wrestling, and the godfather of this show. Please welcome Booker T. Hello, sir.
Hey, what's going on now?
Not much. First question we have to ask: when Brock Lesnar flipped that announcer tape, did that hit you? We couldn't tell how bad you guys got hit with that thing.
Yeah, man, it caught me pretty good. I mean, up around the top of the head, actually. But you know, I mean, I'm okay. It was unexpected, I think, more than anything. I definitely didn't expect Rock to, you know, turn the table over on us. You know, it's always been the wrestler would get the brunt or something like that, not the commentary team. But if you notice the German announcers, you know, they did the right thing by catching for higher ground.
I mean, at least you didn't get the Michael Cole treatment. I guess that's a plus side.
Yeah. Well, you know, there was no need for me to get the Michael Cole treatment. You know what I mean? I was out already. You know, there's no fun in that.
Yeah, that was a terrifying endeavor there. It makes me wonder how long Cole's going to be out. It might just be you and JBL for a while. Who knows?
Hopefully it will be.
Right here first. Nice. So, overall thoughts of WrestleMania. I mean, what a show it was. I think it's just surpassed so many expectations, so many great moments. Obviously, you were there for the pre-show. Is there any one moment or two moments that really stand out for you?
Perhaps probably just the Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, you know, finish of that match right there. You know, Randy Orton pulling off another, you know, dramatic, you know, RKO. It was beautiful. Those guys went out there and performed, brought it to another level. It's great to see Seth Rollins go out there and put himself in position to, you know, move to the next level, which he has. Now he's WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So it was a great night. It was a great night. Big show. Actually, on the kickoff show, got a chance to finally solidify his greatness and actually his giantness, you know, and finally I'm cashing in on something like the Andre the Giant Memorial Cup. So it was a great night. It was a great night all in all.
Absolutely. Now, Booker, you played detective this weekend, if I'm understanding correctly. Mania even kicked off.
Oh, yeah. A couple of guys actually snuck in with the ring crew, just the crew guys in general, and stayed up top there. Well, you know, people start, you know, moving around a little bit, and then I kind of noticed these two guys that were out of character. They didn't look like they were, you know, in the right place that they should have been, which was outside of the arena. And one of the guys, I'm doing my prep for the show. He came up to me and asked me for an autograph, and I'm like, look, bro, I'm working here, you know what I mean? Normally the workers are told not to say anything or do anything to the talent, you know what I mean? So just kind of beat these two guys totally out of place, so I had them apprehended them, took them down, you know, had the police check them out. They actually were searched, and they had all kind of bogus identification on them, you know, as well as passes to get in and whatnot that they had fictitiously made up, you know. So yeah, I did fall a crime. They got two guys kicked out of the Levi Stadium.
Wow, citizen's arrest. Hell yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is classic.
So we can add detective to Booker's resume now.
Yeah, right?
I tell when, you know, things are out of place, you know what I mean? These two guys, they just look like they were out of place. You know, when you're from the street, you notice that kind of stuff, because Byron Saxon noticed these same two guys, and, you know, he didn't do anything. He didn't see anything, you know, but he's from the suburbs.
Those two guys must have peed themselves when you figured them out. Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Well, trust me, you don't want to be on the bad side of Booker's anger. I've been there before. It's not pretty.
You're usually there.
Hey, man, you know, I wasn't angry. You know what I mean? That's just how, you know, these guys were, you know, just say if they were there to do some harm. You know what I mean? You know, the Boston bombing wasn't that far, you know, from, you know, removed from, you know, something like that happening. So, I mean, we're at Levi Stadium. It was almost 73,000 people there. You know what I mean? These guys could have actually really done something stupid, you know, and it could have been a not so great night. So I was just in the right place at the right time. You know, and it was almost like Beverly Hills Cops, because after I got these guys apprehended and threw out, all of the cops came out, the dogs came out, all the security came out. It was crazy. You know, so it was kind of funny at the same time.
I love that. Before we let you go, you're just exhausted. You got a busy day ahead. Obviously, you have a very good relationship with The Undertaker. You know, it was great to see him back, and we thought he looked really, really good. Him and Bray. It's going to be interesting to see if this turns into anything down the road. What were your overall thoughts on that match?
You said it. The Undertaker did look good. He looked better than we've seen the Undertaker look in quite some time. So the match was, typical Undertaker going out there performing, taking the crowd on a ride. Giving that young guy, Bray Wyatt, the chance to step up. Because all of us, we get into that match with the Undertaker. It's something totally different for each and every one of us. It's something different. And I'm sure when Bray Wyatt actually, had that moment in there with the Undertaker at WrestleMania in front of 70,000 people. I'm sure it was great for him. So he learned so much from that match. He's going to be able to take away so much from that match and move on to the future. I don't see that feud lasting too much longer than WrestleMania. I think it should be something that should be Bray Wyatt is the future. Bray Wyatt is the future of the WWE. But he had to take that test just like so many of us had to take. So it was a great moment, nostalgic moment for Bray Wyatt, like I say, but history-making moment in so many different ways for that young kid as well. So I just want to see Bray Wyatt move on to the next level. Undertaker, of course, 32 is going to be coming up in Dallas. Cherryland, 100,000 people. I'm sure the Undertaker is going to be ready, willing, and able to make that walk one more time.
Absolutely. Now, Booker, WrestleMania is in our rearview window, but we have another big event coming up April 11th. Well, you do. Reality of Wrestling. What are you excited for it? April 11th.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a great night. It's gonna be a huge night. Oh man, Biggest Dragon Steamboat is gonna be there. That's gonna be awesome. Bret the Hitman Hart's going to be there. My former trainer, Ivan Putski, is going to be somewhere lingering around, Wow. So it's going to be great. It's going to be an awesome night for Reality of Wrestling. More importantly, the fans that's going to get a chance to, meet and greet and see those guys. Bret Hart and Steamboat is coming in our area. It's the first time, so I'm sure it's going to be a lot of people that want to come out and see them. It's going to be from the oldest to the youngest that want to come out and see these guys. Because WrestleMania 3, of course, with Steamboat out there doing his thing, and Bret Hart being it. Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. It's going to be a great night. Reality of Wrestling, like always. But not to overshadow the talent. The talent is going to go out there and perform, followed by our new reality wrestling champion, heavyweight champion. I'm sure he's going to be there. The Mysterious Q is going to be looking to get back in the saddle again. Ruthless Ryan Davidson, I'm sure he's got some payback he want to get on Brian Keith, our black cowboy, the fastest gun in the West. I tell you, it's going to be an awesome show, and I will be there. I will be just making my way back from Qatar, making a little trip over there to do some work, promote my book and whatnot. So, but it's going to be a great night. It's going to be a great night. Next week, you guys don't want to miss out. Don't want to get shut out. Reality of Wrestling 11th is going down.
Sounds good. April 11th it is. Booker T once again.
April 11th. That's not bad.
April 11th, of course. RealityWrestling.com. Booker T, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the week. Try to get some rest, and we'll talk to you soon.
No rest for the weary, bro.
That's right.
Like I always say, now can you dig that, sucker?
Not a bad way to start post-WrestleMania week. We had Alex Riley, we had Booker T, now we got to talk WrestleMania.
Please.
So much.
I've been waiting.
Where do we start? I guess we got to start at the fact that we have a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion in Seth Rollins.
What a way to do that, too.
Wow.
Executed perfectly.
Yeah, have they ever done it where the match was still live like that before? Because
not a Mania.
I know a lot of people were kind of thrown off by the fact that it became a triple threat, but I thought that was a really smooth move, and to not kind of be redundant, because almost every time outside of John Cena and Mizdow, I believe, they've just been like, I'm talking into the microphone, I get knocked out, you're going to take my title. That's kind of been the call to action for that thing.
The way they did it was perfect because it almost left it unpredictable.
I was like, man, he could lose this.
Well, you know what's crazy? I completely forgot about the damn briefcase.
Which I think at this point we need to give, props to both Brock and Roman Reigns because they stepped up to the plate doubting they could.
That was definitely a JR slobber knocker kind of match because, I mean, it got, just from the first blows, they looked like they were not pulling any punches on this thing.
Lesnar was busted open.
He was busted open in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
He does kind of bleed easily, it seems. But he really really got bloody, especially when he ran into that ring post. That was extreme. But Reigns, I gotta say, he helped carry this match over and just looked strong the whole time. He sold everything Brock was doing. I don't even know if you have to sell what Brock does. He really. But
I don't think so. You have to just survive.
That moment where he laughed, though, when he was getting slapped in the face and just started laughing.
Yeah.
I was completely into him from that moment on. Like, he definitely.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And the outcome of this match really helps him in the long run. I don't think it makes him look weak by losing.
I see your point. I mean, I guess we can't judge everything based off of the Monday Night Raw audience in San Jose because they booed him out of the building.
That audience doesn't count.
You're probably right. That's not the... Because, I mean, the stuff they were saying was crazy. And lost, I think that sets up a world of possibilities.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And how strong is it to have Brock come back the next day, challenge for that belt, and then just throw a tantrum when he can't get it and then get suspended? Like, what a great way to keep him off of TV again for
Poor
a while.
Michael Cole.
I'm on a roll, baby.
I love the photo of his shoe.
R.I.P. Michael Cole's shoe. Well, yeah,
was great.
That's the thing. So now he's suspended. So he re-signed.
Right.
We don't know how many appearances that means.
Nope. Multi-year is all they said.
So now we're not going to... When the hell are we going to see him again?
I mean, he's not going to change the way he does business.
Yeah, it's just...
Probably SummerSlam.
I mean, honestly, great. It takes him off TV for a little bit. That was going to happen anyway.
Yep.
It gives Roman Reigns a chance, to chase this title from
And Orton
Seth
too,
Rollins.
according to last night.
And I think we'll see Brock Lesnar maybe at Extreme Rules, maybe.
Maybe. He might be there, but he won't be wrestling. That's my guess. He might mess up some stuff.
I mean, I'm intrigued to see how this all plays out at this point.
Yeah, because you know what I mean? Like, what's going to cause them to want him back?
I mean, Heyman will figure out a deal or something.
That's true. His father was an attorney.
I just thought that was such good storytelling. But when they said the match was going to happen at...
You're like, yes, it is. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah, so that was a telltale. But, I mean, how cool that Rollins got to go be on the Today Show as well. That's a pretty rare showing for the WWE champion.
Talk about a whirlwind day. I'm assuming he flew red-eye to New York and then flew, bam, back out to California.
Yeah. Well, I know he came by the post-WrestleMania party for like a minute.
Right.
He came in, was in the doorway, looked around, and was like gone.
He was probably in a jet. Like, not just...
Yeah,
he wasn't flying commercial.
No, yeah. But good on him to get to do that as the new champ. That's cool.
Yeah, and I didn't see... Wow. I
loved, on that note, I loved how Stephanie on Raw was like, Brock, you were booked for that.
Right.
But
As
since
if
you
Brock
didn't get
would
the
ever be
job
on.
done. And as if they would ever trust Brock to go on a big show like that and
Be an
do
ambassador
interview.
for them for that kind of situation.
No, Paul Heyman would have been
Probably
talking.
not. Sports Center or bust for Brock Lesnar.
yeah. If you're not talking to Michelle Beadle, we're not sending you. Yeah, I mean, now we have Seth Rollins as the new champion, and wow, what a journey he's had. Just 7-8 years ago, Nigel McGuinness really helped along the way, and wow, going to FCW, then NXT, and the Shield, and now here you go, and he's a smarmy, slimy heel, and he's really old school.
I mean, look at NXT as a whole for the WrestleMania card. There was someone from the NXT camp on every single match except for Triple H and Sting, obviously. But I mean, it's just NXT is taken over from the show, how the crowd reacted. I heard there was like better than WrestleMania chants, although that hadn't happened yet. But
I mean,
everybody's super into the NXT brand.
Look, that might have been a 5,000 person crowd, but I'm telling you, it felt like 20,000. Like the intensity in that building for that live NXT show, the passion those guys have when you talk to them, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And the crowd borderline hijacked Monday Night Raw with the NXT chants, which I love the fact they're so passionate about it, but it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure. I guess they're saying they want the main roster to be more like NXT as far as story and matches. I'm not quite sure what the...
I mean, it's just the cool kid on the block. I don't think it's really much thought behind it, just the fact that they're enjoying the product and letting it be known.
Yeah.
But, I mean, good for Lucha Action being out there.
And Neville, too.
And Neville was doing great.
I'm torn between that one because I want Axelmania to run wild all the way to...
It's actually... Extreme Rules now.
Yes, exactly.
Neville was in Fast Forward last night. Like Axel, and Axel's a great wrestler. He could not even keep up with the speed of Adrian Neville. And Kalisto, both of them, And I've seen them both wrestle in NXT, but for some reason, watching them on Raw was like watching not only a breath of fresh air, but just something we'd never seen before.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure their intensity level was up higher than normal too. I mean, like, that's your chance. This is it. This is what you've worked for. You know, this is that moment. Either you do good, or you don't see you again for a while.
I mean, this was the second time Sin Cara debuted on the Raw after WrestleMania.
It's true.
If you want to think about it.
Everyone's talking about Kalisto, but yeah.
But, you know, I think it was great and nice to see as many NXT people as possible. Hopefully this isn't the end of more guys coming up for the next few months.
But I want to know when we're going to see some more NXT women come up to the main roster.
The Divas roster needs that. It's like, how many 6-woman tags are you going to have? Or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it might be Charlotte, and I think that's kind of it. I mean, last year they only brought up Paige, really. Emma was brought up a little before WrestleMania, and then
I want them to bring up Bailey.
AJ was wearing a Bailey t-shirt last night.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice little throw out. She really seems to be a fan of Bailey, because she mentioned her in her speech for that Slammy back when she did that.
Yes, she did.
I would love to see Bailey on the main roster.
Yeah.
I think any one of them would be a great addition. We mentioned NXT. Let's move on to the one match that did not have anyone from NXT. Sting versus Triple H. The intro for Triple H was insane.
I loved it.
Me too.
How much money do you think that cost to set up?
Not that much. It was just some props. I mean,
well, I don't know. Those robots could have been running around. You don't know. It is the future. Hey, wow, what the hell? See?
Is Schwarzenegger here?
I don't see that coming. It's time to play the game. I can't do a good Arnold impression.
I see that.
Yeah.
It was a great intro. I mean,
is this Jurassic Park? What's happening?
Outside of Triple H, all the new guys got the really cool entrances this year.
Rusev entrance was one of the coolest things.
Sting had the band. That was pretty cool, but, you know, I think Triple H kind of outshined him in that particular scenario.
I like Braze with the scarecrows.
And he won the damn match.
I can't believe Triple H won that match, but luckily there was a lot of shenanigans.
The way it happened made it work. You know,
I was very entertained.
You come in when you get Shawn Michaels to come in and do a super kick. That's fine. You can lose on that.
Well, not just that.
I mean,
we had DX and NWO in the same ring at the same time. And both their musics were hitting. You know what I'm saying?
What it sound like?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It's kind of like when you play the Beatles album backwards.
Yeah.
It just talks to you.
What is he talking about today? These things he's coming up with.
This is what happens when I drive your car from San Jose and I sleep 3 hours. I get up and I go to CrossFit and I come here. I'm delirious, and it's awesome.
What a great moment, though, to have NWO representing. I had some people that are like, oh, Sting and NWO never really. I was like, yeah, I get it. But it's more the symbolism of the fact that NWO is representing WCW. It's such a cool, never going to happen again kind of moment.
The only thing that was really missing there for me was I was hoping we would get a Flair run in.
Or a Flair walk in.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but it's also like. They were the two factions.
Yeah, that could be something down the road. You never know. But yeah, never did I think we would see DX and NWO in the ring at the same time.
Yeah.
And they were taking...
Razor Ramon took a back body drop.
Outside the ring, he took a back body drop.
Yeah.
What the...
Good on him.
You're not supposed to do that, Scott. I mean, come on, man.
Hey, listen, he wanted another WrestleMania moment, okay? And he got it.
He got it. And then Hulk Hogan, X-Pac shoved Hogan from behind. I haven't seen Hogan fall down in years.
Yeah.
He's had 8 back surgeries. Like, I'm seriously, I got nervous.
Yeah.
But man,
that is really what a WrestleMania moment is. I mean, things that you just never expect. And we knew they were all in town for the most part. You know, they were at the Hall of Fame or whatever. But
it just makes for a fun story. Like it was really cool. That's what we were talking about. It's not always about how a match ends. It's about the story that happens throughout it. And that was just a culmination.
We probably should have guessed that WCW is never going to go over on WWE if that's the angle that they're working. But it also gives Sting some motivation to wrestle again. And I think that that's more important in the long term than it is to have him win that one match and then be what? Like, what does he have to accomplish after that?
Exactly. Well, and him and Triple H shook hands, so...
Yeah.
You know, and then Sting after Monday Night Raw didn't really have much to say. He's like, I don't know, whatever they want me to do, I'll do it.
Great exclusive interview, buddy.
It was really weird.
I just really hope that we don't see Undertaker Sting.
No, I mean, I thought you wanted that at some point.
I did want that at some point, but with Sting, I thought Sting was going to win, you know? I thought Sting was going to win. I don't think you can have Sting come into WWE, and if, you know, he only wrestles, like, on these huge, you know, WrestleMania cards and things, you can't just have him lose.
I'd like to see, well, if they're just going to continue to bury Bray Wyatt every time he goes up against somebody with a big name, why not have him wrestle Sting?
I know what I want to see.
What?
I want to see Taker Bray Wyatt Part 2 next year.
Yes.
Bray Wyatt wins, Undertaker goes out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Sting, do something else. Sting versus Undertaker, I don't want it. Then you don't say no to him.
My only thing is neither of those guys appeared on Raw last night, so the likelihood seems slim.
Yeah. We didn't hear about anything about the Undertaker Bray match, and I can't imagine that's going to be a big SmackDown thing. Maybe it will.
It is a star-studded SmackDown, Johnny.
Yeah. It will. I just found that very, very odd that we didn't hear about anything about Bray Taker.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised there was no Triple H on Raw last night.
Yeah.
He hurt his leg. It definitely looked.
Oh, did it?
I mean, it was like hella bruised.
Is that what that was?
Massive. It just formed in the middle of the match, all the way down from his hip down to his knee. It was like this giant. It looked like a Sheamus style bruise.
I thought it was Sting's makeup.
We were trying to figure out from the box whether it was makeup or a bruise, and everyone was like, "Nope, that's a bruise."
Yeah.
Interesting.
From my seats, you could see it perfectly.
Okay.
Now, speaking of bruises and injuries, we got to talk about that IC title match.
Damn.
I can't believe Dean Ambrose wasn't concussed or something after that. He went through that ladder.
He's a maniac.
Well, I'm surprised Truth was able to wrestle before Raw last night too. Seeing him today, his arm was all banged up. He's like, I couldn't feel part of my hand earlier.
Oh, God.
He wasn't even in that match very much at the least time. In that match.
That's what happened.
And Ambrose too. Once he took that drop to the outside from Harper,
that was it.
We didn't see him for the rest of the match. How he was able to, I was worried we wouldn't see him for weeks. I didn't know what was going on. And then last night, him and Cena put on an amazing match.
Wow.
That was the match of the night, in my opinion.
I thought for sure Rusev was going to interrupt that match, but no show for Rusev yesterday either.
Yeah. Well,
No, Rusev had a match.
he destroyed Goldust
Yeah.
for 2 minutes.
When was that?
Right after you left. You remember that you had a plane flight?
Yeah, I had to fly. Sorry. Well,
I mean, you didn't miss much in that
that's
match.
weird that he wouldn't. So he was there and he didn't run out during the John Cena thing. So they're just done with that. Huh?
2-minute match. Goldust destroyed Rusev Crush. So that's how that went.
Cool.
Yep.
Huh.
I don't know. For me, match of the night.
No Lana.
Well, she had to go back to filming. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no Lana either. To me, it's hard to decide. Match of the night. I mean, geez, Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, that was phenomenal.
Oh, Raw.
Yeah,
That was really great. I liked the tag match the best with the Luchas debuting.
That was great
to
too.
me, energy-wise, was just really great.
You know, I agree. Ziggler Bryan was great, but it felt like a match I'd seen before a bunch of times.
Well, we had.
Gross. I think maybe they wrestled once before that I can recall, but not in a match like that. And I really thought at one point Ambrose was going to win it.
me too. And I'll tell you what, that crowd, John Cena never pays attention to the audience a few times. They were
He said, "Y'all are musicians."
Oh, they were all over him.
Well, that's when that was born. Was last year the Raw after WrestleMania was the John Cena sucks.
Yeah.
At least that was the first time I had heard it. So I love that it continues on with. It was pretty great. That one I can get behind. But yeah, what do you think about Sheamus debuting as the new Celtic Warrior? I mean, he's undeniably
He got
Celtic.
some "you look stupid" chants.
Coming back and being, well, pretending to not be a heel and then just smashing Daniel Bryan and Ziggler.
Yeah,
two,
agreed.
Two of arguably the most fan favorite guys in the WWE right now. I think that's a great way to get instant heat. He was going to get heat one way or the other. Might as well embrace it and come back with a new character-y look.
The new look, the mohawk, the braids in the goat.
Which he must have done Monday, because I saw him on Sunday and he looked like he used to always look. So it must have been a new thing.
Wait,
they
did you
decided.
see him on Sunday with a hat on or without a hat? Because every time I saw him this weekend, he was wearing a hat.
He's always wearing a hat. But you could have seen, I saw him from back as well, and he had hair.
I think he went old school with it. He didn't change his look till the day of, so no one in public can see it. It couldn't get on social media.
I thought that was really cool.
So yeah, we're on board with that for sure. Rusev Cena, fantastic. Rode a tank.
That's boss.
That entrance was the coolest thing, and if you weren't already a Rusev fan, you had better be after that.
Poor Lana. lost her shoes, got knocked off the mat.
Well, she didn't lose her shoes. She tossed her shoes.
Lost her shoes.
She threw her shoes like it was a George Bush protester.
You know what, Dale? I think Lana's going to be okay.
I mean, she'll be fine. But I'm expecting a little more fallout from that. I mean,
agreed.
I thought he would say that she cost him the match or something like that.
Well, after the match, when she was complaining about her ankle on the ground, Rusev did not help her. He just screamed at her, and then he walked off. That's awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
I do also like how she was dressed just like the Bridget Nielsen in Rocky IV.
I guess so, huh?
All white, had the dead animal thing on her shoulder.
Yeah.
But that was a fantastic match.
What do y'all think about Bray Wyatt Undertaker?
I liked it.
You know, it is what it is. Like, we knew it would be a slower match.
Yeah, I expect slower from Undertaker. I just
I thought there were some really cool moments in it.
Yeah, I loved when he was doing his crab walk and
Undertaker sits
sat up. That was such a cool moment.
That,
I really like that.
I mean, right now I'm not sure, but it was when Bray's doing the crab walk, Undertaker sits up, and they just stare at each other.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt really yucko about the finish just because I don't feel like Undertaker needs to win. The streak is already over. I think it was more for the fans to be like, we're sorry that we broke your hearts last year. He won again. I don't know if it really did. It wasn't for Bray. That's for damn sure. And I thought kind of this whole program was Bray carrying everything since The Undertaker wasn't even there. And as excited as we all were to go into a program from a guy that we hadn't seen in a whole year, I think Bray deserved more credit than that. And now he has 2 losses in a row. Yes, they're against big guys, but
I also think you have to look at the card as a whole. I don't think you could have had both Sting and Undertaker losing on a WrestleMania card.
all the guys won, though. Everyone that everybody likes, for the most part, won.
Yeah.
So I think we could have dealt with a little more heartache or a little more. Bray Wyatt is the new face of fear, except not because he lost. You know what I mean? They're just building things.
I have a feeling with this one, and normally I won't say that, and I'm hoping I'm right here. I really hope I'm right, but I feel like they have a plan in place with Bray Wyatt to move forward past this.
They have to.
I hope so.
And I feel like that is part of why he was kept off this Raw last night.
Or the fact that the rumor was he hurt his ankle before even going into that Undertaker match.
Which we couldn't tell.
Yeah, he moved fine as far as I could tell, but if that is true, it would also explain him not being on the show.
I'm cool with Taker winning if it means part 2 next year, and then Bray goes on top, and then Undertaker leaves.
I think they've only done that once in the history of the company ever.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty far reach.
Well, I like to reach far, dude.
Hey man, I'm with you. I've been saying that for months, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's what it is.
Good luck on that, guys.
Also, Damien Mizdow, it's a funny transition we have here since he is our guest on the show. What an amazing number of moments he had in that Battle Royal.
That was his Battle Royal, essentially. A-Rye had a great moment with raging out, but he got knocked out right after that.
Hideo had
the help of Damien Sandow, really. And Hideo, making his debut, but Big Show knocked him out. Hopefully I guess that starts something, maybe.
And you know what? It took 29 other men to throw out, and it's true.
It's like you wrote his promo for him. You said it like 2 days before he said it on the Raw. Like, that's what he's going to say. It took 29 guys to throw me out. You're right, he did. That's exactly what he said.
Good for look, that was a good spot for him.
Yeah.
It works. It fits the character that they're trying to do with him. We didn't even expect him to make it to the ring.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't think he'd get in there.
So the fact that all 29 of them ganged up, that was a cool moment.
Yeah.
I think this is going to keep happening until people, it's almost like with 3MB. They kept getting crushed and crushed and crushed until people were like, hey, we like you guys.
Yeah. So good on him, but I think this was Mizdow's moment. Even by losing, he lost to the biggest guy on the roster, and I don't think
he almost had him too.
Oh man, that was such a great. First off, when Miz is like poking him in the chest over and over again, throws him out, and then him and Big Show, they had a really good mini match together, and how he's just kind of choking him, trying to get him over the ropes. I really thought he was going to get him.
Me too.
Wow.
But you can't have the same ending as last year. Right.
Yeah.
That's almost exactly what happened last year with Cesaro and Big Show. It came down to 2 of them, and then Cesaro overcame. So I think this helps him out. Have something new to work with for a minute, because he hasn't really had any real momentum except for just being the lackey of the authority.
You say that, and that would have been great if they would have done something with that on Monday Night Raw, but instead he comes out, the trophy's there, they don't even acknowledge that he's like the winner, basically. Maybe they did on commentary.
They did acknowledge it,
yeah.
Mizdow was phenomenal, and he had a really great tweet after WrestleMania that just thanked the fans and how
so many good tweets, really.
Yeah, and they made him feel incredible, and he deserves it. He's been doing this for so many years, and we talk about the interview with him about how he's getting his just due.
And he's a good guy.
Yes.
Like he's very humble and very respectful of people, and you can tell he loves the business.
And The Miz attacked him on Raw, so we have a hell of a program coming up.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to see that. But we can't wait for you to listen to our interview with Damien Mizdow. So without further ado, this is us last week on Monday Night Raw talking to him. Just a very candid conversation. We hope you enjoy it. We'll be right back. This is a good time, Dale. It's a good time to be on this show. You know why?
Why is that, Johnny?
I can tell you why. Because we have a man, we have an individual, we have a superstar we've been wanting to have on the show since we began well over a year ago. He's gone by a few different names. He's gone by a few different monikers, if you will. Please welcome to the show, Damien Mizdow.
Hello, hello.
How's it going, sir?
It's going great. We're out here in LA right now, getting ready for WrestleMania, of course, which will be in San Jose/San Francisco, and we're all excited. We're all ready to go, and feeling is good.
Now, you in particular seem like this could be your poise to maybe have your biggest WrestleMania moment yet. Would you say that's accurate?
You know, yeah. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Obviously, it's a huge thing. You know, the namesake too, and the prestige that goes along with it, and I still am the Miz's personal assistant, so there's a little bit of a conflict there. Do I help him win, or do I try? So it's I haven't quite it's torn. I mean, I'm contractually obligated to help the Miz, but when you're out there at WrestleMania, you know it's a different bird. Things happen, emotions take over, and I guess we'll just have to see what happens.
I look at it this way: he hasn't put you in a movie yet, so what do you really owe him? I say nothing.
No, true. Huh? I never really thought about acting before.
You know, what has he really done for you? Not much.
I hadn't thought about it like that. Wow.
Yeah.
So what was your involvement in the Marine 4 then? You must have been doing a few things, right?
Well, I was stunt doubling, but it was kind of strange. My stunt doubling consisted of getting him water and making sure his clothes were pressed. So I think it was more or less the personal assistant role. Back then, even.
And Marines have to stay hydrated, so maybe that's part of.
I guess. Yeah. I guess that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. I do have a question. Back before you became the personal assistant, you were incredible at coming up with characters. What was the most fun you've had with any of those characters that you did? Say whether it was LeBron James or.
Well, the interpretive dancer was quite fun.
And a good outfit.
They wanted to actually dress me like Fandango, and I was like, no, you know what? How about this? Let's if I'm going to do this, I need a body leotard, preferably flesh colored, and a ribbon, a stick, and I'll take care of the rest.
Much like in The Big Lebowski.
Yes, there we go. So it was that was a lot of fun. Davy Crockett was fun.
Oh yeah,
that was classic.
Magneto was a blast too. So yeah, it's been spectrum of things to which I've done have been.
Well, Magneto was so great that demanded a sequel.
Thank you.
That's right.
Yes, and whose version of Magneto?
I even loved when they announced the WWE 2K15 stuff. Your video game character that you came out with was pretty spectacular and very spot on.
That was my interpretation of getting.
Got to get in where you fit in.
Amen. I've heard that before.
How many face tattoos? I lost count of Wiz Khalifa.
I was too busy rapping
about working with Miz, because we all know your intelligence. We all know you're probably arguably the most intelligent superstar in the WWE. How difficult has that been working with The Miz when he talks down to you so much?
He claims it's tough love. Sometimes I don't think it is, but again, at the end of the day, sometimes you just got to suck it up for the greater good, and that's what I do.
I think that's what Nietzsche said. The greater good for the greater.
Yes.
Might be a direct quote.
Am I correct on that one?
Yeah, maybe.
Probably not. I'm not usually correct. I'll just toss out a name in history and just people assume
just
it's correct.
hope that you were right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Inquisition. It was.
Yeah.
It was. When did that happen?
Yeah, it happened.
We've got this Grey Poupon here. I feel like your old character that you used to have could do a Grey Poupon commercial, don't you feel?
Yes, except that is in a plastic container, and I believe my old character would want it out of the smaller glass container.
That's
and
true.
would only spread it with a sterling silver knife.
Gonna say a tiny little spoon.
Yes.
let's talk comedy, because obviously you're someone that has to appreciate comedy because you're so good at it. Is there a favorite? Give us your favorite top 2 or 3 films of all time in the comedy genre.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation,
Nice.
Cousin Eddie, and I'll do Vacation. Randy Quaid's interpretation of Cousin Eddie, I think, is the absolute funniest portrayal of any character in cinema, because there's not going to be a Cousin Eddie, I heard.
I don't think Randy Quaid's allowed to do much right now.
And Chris Hemsworth is in it as well.
Oh, wow.
It's like the son,
Wow.
I believe.
Yeah.
I imagine Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters was good. But I was a kid when that came out, so I always thought it was a more serious movie as a kid. I was like, oh
Right.
my God, they're out zapping ghosts, more or less. So when you're 8 or 9 years old, you kind of view that a little bit differently. But it's funny to kind of go and rewatch it, because you catch things that you didn't when you were a kid. So that's
It's a lot darker than I remember it. Also,
Oh, really?
When I went back and watched it. It has some very adult themed things going on inside of that.
Yeah.
It stands the test of time, though. I mean,
It does.
anything with Harold Ramis.
a giant marshmallow man taking over the city. That's I'm sure there's some double entendres there or something like that.
And now I'm the kind of guy that says I almost like Ghostbusters 2 better than the original. Do you remember one of the greatest handshakes in movie history? It was in Ghostbusters 2.
With the slime?
Remember the guy? Remember Vigo, that little creepy guy with the accent?
Oh yes.
Okay, we're gonna recreate the greatest handshake in movie history.
Oh gosh.
You'll be Dr. Venkman, and I'll be the creepy guy. So
This is not going to involve any kind of slime or
no,
anything,
nothing
right?
weird.
Okay.
Put your hand out.
This is definitely a setup. It
Oh
feels
yes,
like.
Dr. Venkman. Yes. Remember that? handshake?
Yes. Keep that in mind. I may use that someday.
That is actually pretty good.
Let's get back to obviously your career. You've been at this a long time.
It's funny, every WWE superstar, yes, your goal is to main event WrestleMania and become the WWE champion. And those are still my goals, but I was so tunnel vision when I first, that was going to be my purpose. But, in doing that, my time here, I really have developed the action I get. And when I do something like that, and the more reaction I get, the more I'll do. And we kind of have this thing where we go back and forth. And to me, you can never equate that to anything, and it's entertainment in its purest form. But that is something to have the rapport we have, and yes, am I still working adamantly towards my first 2 goals? Absolutely, but I've realized that sometimes yes, we all want to be in the main event and that kind of top tier guys, but to me, in their eyes,
Actually go your way in the end, with Cena. Was that a surprise to you that it went that way?
At the time, yes, but you know what? One thing always leads to another, and I got to. If I hadn't lost it, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Which is.
And I think so many people can learn by watching someone like you, because it's just
Thank
so
you.
obvious. Maybe some things are, you have a script, if you will, but you go out there and you're in the moment, and people recognize that, and it just goes through the television. I think that's part of the reason.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's why you can make a unitard work as well as Magneto.
Exactly. Exactly. I've dressed like an astronaut. Baby crying. Hey, if it's working, I'm there.
Yep.
Where do you have a spot reserved for your trophy?
I don't, but I'm sure I'll find something.
It's a big.
It is. Yes.
So Cesaro didn't hang on to it much last year.
No, but
one and done on
I
that
think
one.
it's reinforced this year.
Don't break it. Don't break it after you win it. Just keep it.
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time.
Great.
Thank you guys for having me. All right.
Well, safe to say that this was the capper to WrestleMania 31 weekend, finishing this show right now.
Oh, man. I'm going to need a vacation.
You are going on vacation.
Funny you say that, Dale.
By the
Segway alert.
By the time you are listening or hearing this, Dale Rutledge will be on his way to Japan.
Japan.
Is that how it's pronounced?
I don't know.
I want to tell you something about that, by the way, Dale.
Okay.
I got a text message from Lance White today, and he said, 1, to tell you to have a good time. So, but 2, he said, and funny story, you know how before when you were trying to buy the tickets, and there was not set up for Americans to be able to use credit cards?
Yeah.
Now it is.
But the show was in a week.
Yeah, he tells you story. He goes, so funny story. They finally set it up, and I guess it's because they try and pretend like they're so modern in advance, and everyone was like, we want to buy tickets, and we can't.
Just quick story is that to help me get the ticket, I couldn't figure out the Japanese website, so Lance helped me out, and then he said, well, they don't take credit cards for some reason, and so he actually was nice enough. They deducted the money out of his payroll.
Dear God.
To buy my tickets, and then I sent him the money separately. Like, thank you so much.
That's a big trust fall right
crazy.
there,
yeah, I can't believe that he even would trust something like that. I mean, I'm Chuck's friend.
Yeah, I mean,
should scare him off.
He was he's not going to take the money and run, is he?
So I'll be at Invasion Attacks. So if anybody's going, tweet me, let me know. Let's meet up.
If there's ever a right moment for this sound drop.
Hell yeah.
Have a great time in Japan, Dale. Guys, thank you so much. This is our first video show, so if you're listening to this, you can go back and watch it on YouTube, and I think you'll really enjoy it because we have all types of fun pictures. We have our logo. We just have us looking good. Not mean. With that said, let's put ourselves over at Wrestling Buds on Twitter, Facebook.com/WrestlingBuds. Please give us a like. Of course, if you don't have iTunes, you can listen to us on AfterBuzzTV.com. Just search Wrestling Compadres. You'll find us, and we have some really cool stuff in the works over the next coming weeks. So, Dale Rutledge, put yourself over.
I am The Walking Dale on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me in Japan for the next week and a half, and then I'll be in Korea, and then I'll be back right.
We're going to miss you.
I'm not going to call in. I know. I was going to say I was going to call in, but that's never going to happen.
Nah, probably not.
That's real. You're not going to.
Just send us pictures. We'll do a photo collage of
I'll
you.
send photos from Invasion Attacks at the very least.
That's perfect.
There we go.
Chuck.
You can find me on Twitter at crice17. You can find me on Instagram at Chuck Rice. 10th, it's going to be limited theatrical run and will be on video on demand. If you are in Los Angeles and you want to come to the premiere on April 10th, shoot me a tweet and we'll get something set up for you.
Sounds like a plan. At Jay Quasto on Twitter. Hey, Arizona, I am going to be there April 2nd to 5th. That's this week.
That's now.
That's it. That's right now. All right, if you're in Scottsdale, please go to Stand Up Scottsdale. I'm there every single night, Thursday to Sunday. I'd love to see you. Hit me up on social media. I'll send you the ticket link. And what else is going on? TheThumbWrestler.com. Check out my film that's now getting submitted to festivals, making me go broke. Other than that, thank you guys so much. The show keeps growing, and we're so excited to have video here on AfterBuzz TV. We think it's going to be great, and we're going to be able to live chat and all that good stuff.
And I just want to say also a shout out to, I know we talked about it the live podcast we did, but God, that kid Vinny.
Yes.
I love that kid and Matthew. Those two made my night.
Right. Thank you to everyone that came out to the live podcast. Vinny, I never met a 12-year-old named Vinny. Awesome.
He called me Mr. Rutledge, which was very
He called me Mr. Rice. I was like, oh, wow.
It was great.
He says, will you sign my program? And I go, kid, you don't want me to sign that. It's going to bring down the value.
Thank you to all the Australians that came out. We love Australia. Right?
Sure.
Yeah, they were there.
Why wouldn't we?
Why not?
I've never met a not cool Australian.
That's a good point.
I mean, come on.
I love Australian chicks, too.
Oh, boy.
All right, good way. All right, guys, have a great week at Wrestling Buds. We'll see you soon. We love you.